Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Naz.
And I'm Alba, and in this video we're going to break down backpacking for you. We're going to be talking about the best destinations for beginner backpackers and other things that you definitely need to know if you want to start backpacking.
So we'll start by telling you our experience as backpackers, why we love it so much. And then towards the end of the video, we'll tell you our top 3 destinations, especially if you're a beginner backpacker.
We have traveled to over 30 countries, and the best experiences that we've had have actually been when we have backpacked, which is why we want to share this with you. And why don't you start by explaining what is backpacking essentially?
Well, at the end of the day, it's a form of traveling, right? When you buy a ticket to go somewhere and you just go, going with a suitcase and going with a backpack is much different. One, the flexibility that it gives you. One of the things that we always do is we book accommodation roughly 10 days in advance, 15 days in advance, and then from that point onwards, we just go with emotion. We meet new people and we think of different itineraries. And honestly, this year, traveling, I don't think we've ever followed an itinerary that we had in mind because plans always changed in every country that we went to.
Yeah, and having a backpack just allows you to chuck everything in there or not have to, spend so much time packing, and you can go. It's also really convenient because when we go to some of these backpacking destinations, we are places that are much more, let's say, raw, much more natural. There's not highways or pavements for you to roll your huge suitcase on. So a lot of the times, carrying the bag literally on you is very, very useful.
And then another thing about backpacking, which I think is quite different, is the whole dynamic of it. The vibes that you get, the people that you meet. You're not going to resorts or to hotels. We normally travel. We go between hostels and
hotels, apartments,
things like that. And yeah, the most amazing thing is the people that we meet along the way and the friends that we make from literally everywhere around the world.
There's a huge community of people who are doing the exact same thing as you, which is getting the backpack on and trying to discover the world and meet new people. So the atmosphere is there, and it's an amazing way of connecting with the countries that you visit and with people around the world.
What should you pack in your bag if you're going for a trip of a few months to a destination that you've never been before? Well, I say underwear. It's very important. No, I'm joking. I mean, at the end of the day, you'll realize that the amount of space that you have in your backpack is very limited, so you have to be very strategic with what you take.
So the most important here is how can you optimize the space in your backpack the most to take things that you're actually going to wear that are going to be useful for you. So the way that you need to do that is most importantly having a look at the weather of the destinations that you're going to. If you're going to a place where you're going to pass through many different weather situations, where you're going to pass the 4 seasons, as they say, from hot to cold, you don't need to carry all your coats and all your bikinis for the trip. Just carry some bikinis, carry one coat, carry one jumper, so that you have just enough to get through all those seasons, because the space on your backpack is very limited, and it's very important that you choose correctly what you put in it.
One really good hack that we recommend you to think about is to use these kind of plastic bags. They're not really plastic bags, they're these compressing bags where you put your clothes in and then you press the air out of it, and what that means is that you're gonna end up with more space because all of your clothes are gonna be super compressed. In the last 3 trips that we did, we used them and we felt like our bags were a lot more optimized.
Yeah, and it also helps you stay organized in your backpack, because when everything's so small, you don't know where things are. It can feel just like a dark hole, but there, you have your things in different bags, so it's also really easy to manage.
Now let's talk travel essentials. So what are the most important things that we have to have when we go traveling?
The first and most important one is a travel health insurance. And this is super important because when you are in a new country, far away from home, if something happens, you want to be covered. There's stories of people who, unfortunately, something happens, they get injured, and they end up with a hospital bill of thousands of dollars.
Well, it's very expensive when you get out there. Remember, you're not in your home country.
Yeah.
Accidents can happen.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've had situations where we had to use our travel insurance a few times, and the amount of money we've gotten back from our insurance is way higher than the amount of money we paid for the insurance.
Yeah.
So for us, it was super, super worth it. We got a yearly plan. In fact, we can get you a discount in our plan. Just check the link in the description because we recommend you to use them. They've been super nice to us.
But also the peace of mind that comes with traveling with an insurance is the best thing that you can have. And honestly, don't leave your home without one because something can happen at any time. But secondly, something that we've learned to use a lot this time around in our last trips is a VPN. When you're traveling so much, you're using open Wi-Fi's at places like airports, cafes, and you never really know who's trying to steal your data.
And honestly, we've met people where, especially at airports, for some reason it happens a lot, people have lost everything. If you're using an open Wi-Fi, remember you're always going to be a little bit exposed. You're in a different side of the world. You never know who's trying to get you out there.
Yeah.
So a VPN is a very good use of money. It's actually super cheap, and we'll give you a discount code for that as well. So link in the description. But either way, to watch Netflix from other countries or to book cheaper flights, because we sometimes connect to a country where things are cheaper and then get our flights that way. And overall safety. Super, super important.
I just think these two things are maybe things that people don't think are necessary, but they are so, so important. They are just travel basics that everybody should have and, you know, always take with them.
And then the third thing, which I think is quite important as well, is a medical kit, emergency medical kit.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things that we take there that are very important, at least for us.
Yeah. 3 things that we always keep in our emergency medical kit are stomach related medication, because you can always get sick on your stomach when you're traveling around and eating different foods. Painkillers, of course, in case you hurt yourself. And I like to take always with me motion sickness pills, because I do get a little bit sick on the road. But obviously that's up to you. The most important thing is know yourself. What is it that you might need when you are on the road? Make sure you take it with you from home.
Okay, so it's finally time for us to share with you our top 3 destinations to backpack if you're a beginner. Now, we've been to a lot of places, and we have to say that if we have to choose a region in the world, it will most likely be Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
And I think most people will agree with us on that one. But we added a country there that's not in Southeast Asia. So in the spot number 3, I would say the Philippines.
Yeah, the Philippines was one of our 3rd or 4th backpacking trips that we did, and we absolutely fell in love. It was so easy to travel, and it was also so gorgeous. We think that this is a perfect destination for beginners because most of the places people speak English. We didn't have any issues getting around. There's so much to see because the Philippines is so big. It has so many islands that you can do one trip in just trying to see a lot of the country.
It's very cheap to get around as well, so you'll have to take internal flights, but they can cost you something like $15, $20, like nothing. And also the beauty of it is incredible, and I feel like it's very well set up for activities as well.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of tours, excursions to go to places that would be difficult to access, but they kind of have it all organized so you can visit those places.
So essentially they are used to tourism, but it's not a destination that is that it feels heavily marketed and, you know, not authentic. It's an amazing place. But let's move up to destination number 2. This one is not in Southeast Asia, and it is Mexico. We were in Mexico this year, and I am so upset that we still have so much left to see because this country is so big, but it is so gorgeous, and it is very well set up for tourism. It's really easy to get around. There is buses, there is flights. So honestly, it has everything that you could be looking for in a backpacking country because it has different destinations as well. There is a lot that you can get from it.
Yeah, I mean, ADO buses are super important and very cheap because they allow you to travel the country the way you want it to and for a very affordable price. A lot of people go to Mexico and maybe they stay only in the Cancun, Tulum, Playa del Carmen areas. I say venture out a little.
Yeah.
If you go further south, close to Belize, it's very beautiful, we hear. But most importantly, the part that we liked the most was Oaxaca. You can also get an ADO bus that takes you there, but the area of Puerto Escondido, it's super, it feels super backpacky. It was super easy for us to meet new people and make friends and just enjoy in general.
And it has the vibes that you want when you are traveling, so definitely check it out.
And number 1, we have Thailand.
I feel like this is a destination that a lot of people go to as their first backpacking destination, and it was the first one for me, and honestly I cannot say enough good things about it. It's such an amazing country, the people are so nice and welcoming, and it is so easy to travel. There was instances where we went to places that there was no tourists around us. We were traveling in like local trains, and at no point we felt unsafe. You know, you just gotta ask around and you'll be able to find your way because people are really helpful, and there's just so much to see. It's easy to get around. It's gorgeous. It has everything you would want to see.
Honestly, thinking about it, that was 6 to 7 years ago, and I remember we did this trip, and we could not be more impressed about the fact that Thailand is really well set up for tourism, especially for backpacking tourism.
Yeah.
As Alba said, it's cheap. Everyone speaks English, or a lot of people speak English, or speak enough to try to communicate with you. People are nice as well, and one of the things that makes it really good is that you'll find a lot of people traveling Thailand.
Yeah.
And that makes it easy to connect with people and make friends and go out and have fun. And another thing that Thailand has is the diversity, right? So you have up north, which is the mountains, if you like to travel the mountains, backpack in the mountains. You have the center, which is Bangkok and a little bit by the sea, city and beach vibes. And then you have the south, which is islands and island party vibes. And honestly, Thailand's got it all.
It's got everything. But obviously these are our top 3 destinations based on our experience. These are places that we've been to. We know that the world is much bigger and there is a lot of amazing other countries that we still have to discover. Just make sure you do your research. You choose a country that meets your expectations, that meets what you want to discover, and plan ahead. That is always the most important. You can go anywhere in the world as long as you're able to plan.
So that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure you drop us a comment and tell us what is your top 3 favorite backpacking destinations. We are curious to hear what other people think.
And maybe we'll go to the ones you suggest next, because I'm excited to go try new places. But yeah, that's gonna be everything for this video. If you made it this far and you enjoyed, don't forget to give the video a like. And of course, subscribe to our channel, because we have lots of stories from our travels that we want to share with you guys, but also we are traveling all the time and you don't want to miss our adventures. Thank you so much for watching.
And we'll see you in our next video.